views and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Outdoors People with me, C.W. Getz, and her, Maya Marzaki. Good evening. It's Wednesday, April 26, 2023. We have a 56-degree Fahrenheit sunny day here in north central Illinois. And I can tell you, that is 13 degrees, kids, Celsius. So anywhere other than the United States, that's your temperature, or that's our temperature. And I've actually, to tell you, Maya, my lovely co-host, is a little bit under the weather this evening. So I will be flying this, let's just say I'll be driving this ship solo. So let's see if I can't make a train wreck out of myself. Hey, Juan, what is your temperature down there? Yeah, where all the rich people, rich, wealthy people, or rich, wealthy, same thing, people live in Florida there. And what is it, West Palm Beach, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm here in West Palm Beach, South Florida. Yeah. And our weather today is 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice. And sunny. And you're getting a tan, I'm sure. I love that.
Yeah, I'm working from the beach today, so.
Are you really? Are you out there in one of those little canopies over there?
That's right.
You're sitting while you're selling seashells or something like that, right? Or maybe drinks.
Seashore, yeah.
Selling drinks, right? You know, speaking of being under the weather, I'm telling you, I have been hot all day. I think I'm going through menopause or something like that because it's been all day. So, yeah, sweating profusely. Let's hope I can keep that under control, too. So. Well, tonight's episode of Outdoors People is brought to you by the way, I'm going to mention this. I am going to read an introduction that is probably the toughest introduction I've ever read on the air. And before the show, I was going through it with my guest, and I will probably butcher some names, so people expect that. I'm from the farm. That's all I can say. Well, tonight's episode of Outdoors People is brought to you by Rutabaga Paddle Sports, providing time on the water, by Campground Views, making camping easier, by Duluth Pack, made in the USA since 1882, and by Jackson Kayak, pursuing joy through paddle sports. Tonight's episode is Mountaineering in Bosnia with our special guest, Aida Starčević. Bosnian hiker, ski tourist, high-altitude mountaineer, rock climber, and alpinist, Aida Starčević comes from Bugojno, a small town near the capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sarajevo. In addition to mountains in the surrounding area and on the Balkan Peninsula, Aida has climbed the highest peaks in Europe and South America. In addition to high-altitude ascents of Mont Blanc, France, Elbrus, Russia, Pisco, Peru, and Aconcagua, Argentina, she has completed various alpinist climbs in Bosnia and Herzegovina, as well as the Alps. In 2014, Aida was named Bosnia and Herzegovina's most successful female alpinist by the Sarajevo School of Mountaineering, becoming the first woman in history of alpinism there to climb the Pallavicini, which is an alpine route on Grossglockner in the Alps. And again in 2020 by the Mountaineering Association of Bosnia and Herzegovina for her ascent of Aconcagua. I think that's right. Coincidentally, setting the female altitude record there. In addition to alpine climbs in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, and Europe, sports climbing is another one of Aida's passions. Having climbed hundreds of sports routes of various difficulties, one of her most notable achievements is the longest sports route in Croatia, a 600-meter, and that is a 1,968 feet rock climb. And with that, welcome to the show, Aida.
Thank you. Good evening, all outdoor people, so all the people in America and Bosnia and abroad who watch it. I really like your pronunciation.
Hey, man, I butchered a couple of those, and I think it's Aconcagua or Aconcagua.
Aconcagua,
Yeah,
yeah.
I butchered it, and I read like a third grader, so I apologize for that. I did my best.
Okay.
How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. As I can mention that it is the midnight right now and this moment, and it's 12 degrees in Bosnia, but it's okay. It's okay. I could manage.
Wow. Yeah.
As soon as we finish this interview, I'll go to sleep.
You won't be drinking any coffee that I'm taking.
Yeah. I drank all of the coffees.
Well, thank you for staying up with us to be on the air. We really, really appreciate that. And by the way, what is your weather there in Bosnia?
Oh, it's pretty raining right now. We are seeking for the sun, but we hope that we will find it in a few days. But it's still raining.
Yeah. What did you say it was like before the show? You told me it was like 12 degrees. Was it 12 degrees?
Yeah, Celsius degrees. Yeah, around 10 or 12 Celsius degrees.
Yeah.
As I said, we are waiting for the sun.
Well, that looks like it's about 52 degrees here, something like that. 50, maybe 54, 52. That's not too bad. That's about the weather we're having here. So about the same, very similar.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, listen, first thing I'm going to ask you is, how did you get started mountaineering? How did all that begin?
I somehow gradually discover hiking in my adventure. I start at the beginning. I start with an easy walk, and eventually it turned out at sleeping on a rock at 600 meters, or sleeping in a tent at 6,000 meters, which is I think 20,000 feet. Sleeping in a tent. Yeah. As I can say, I gradually push my limits, and whenever, depending on how I was feeling at that moment, I done some things. So after 15 years pushing my limits, here I am in the mountain. As I can say, I want to be in a mountain more than ever, and spend some time and looking for the new adventure. Maybe the sentence what would people say here in Bosnia and Herzegovina is, you can do it, that's only for men, that you're not made for that. And maybe that's what pushed me to go every step further, because of the motivation I wanted to have at that moment, but I didn't. And of course, what is unique with the mountaineering is that when you are in a mountain, you are alone with the mountain. You can depend only on yourself, on your abilities, and it actually awakens that existential fear, which can lead you to the basic principle of life. So it means you if you don't know, you can survive. So maybe that's the thing I can say.
You know, I have to tell you, God, I wish Maya were here, because she would love exactly everything you just said.
Yes, I saw some pictures and some videos of her, and I saw that she knows, she actually do the rock climbing, and she's in the mountains. But who knows? Maybe next time, maybe she will come to Bosnia.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about that. We were talking about doing a European tour at some point with this show, and we would love.
Would be great, because we have really good climbing spots. We will talk about it later, if you like. Of course,
that would be great.
As I wanted to say how I started, as I said, I started with an easy climb, easy walk, and then I start hiking, then mountaineering, then I start doing the rock climbing, then ski touring, and then it all ended up with alpinism. So if you combine some of these activities, it's really nice. It's really pleasure to know some of these things in the mountains.
So that it really involves a lot of equipment. I mean, you're doing skiing, you're doing climbing, and all that. Would require quite a bit of equipment to take with you mountaineering. Is that right?
According to the trip we take, there are different types of trips. There are some winter and summer trips, and during the winter we have to bring much more equipment than during the summer, because the summer we have to be. It actually requires only maybe physical fitness, etc. But there are, as I said, the different types of hiking and trips. So it could be for rock climbing, when you don't have to wear a lot of things, or when you go on expeditional style of climbing, then you have to bring everything, which means you have to bring a tent, all of the equipment, all of the personal and technical equipment, water, food, gas stove, and everything. That, at that point, that was when I, for example, climbed Aconcagua. That expeditional style lasted for 20 days. And we have to bring everything that we will need during the ascent, during those days, and everything. So, as I said, there are different types of trips. If you go hunting, we just bring our backpacks, just some food, and that's it. But if you go on for a few days, like ski touring, then we need to bring almost everything.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask you that when you're bringing this stuff, you're not pulling it on a sled or anything. This is all on your back. Am I right?
Yes.
Wow.
We practice. Actually, I go to gym and practice, and whenever I go to the mountain, even though if I don't have to wear my heavy rucksack, I put some things in it just to practice myself, just to work on my shoulders.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about this, and I'm picturing you doing these ascents, and in the wintertime with all your gear and the backpack and skis and whatnot, and you got to be in shape, and you don't just sit around eating I don't know what, Eskimo pies and just jump out and do one of these. You got to train, I would imagine, right?
Mountaineering and life in mountain, that actually become my lifestyle. That's the way how I wanted to finish my life with, and as I said, it's actually my lifestyle. So if during the summer I go mostly to the rock climbing trips, and I have to be as light as I could. So sometimes I don't eat for 24 hours, or those are that fasting that are maybe at this moment popular. So I want to lose my weight. During the winter, I can gain maybe 2 kilos or something like that. But I really think of the things what I eat. I try to be healthy. I go to the gym. Actually, I don't go to gym. I practice at my home. I have most of these gears that I would use in gym. I have it in my home. So that's how I combine. I'm cooking a dinner for my kids and doing the training, and then go to job and then go to climbing, and as I said, combine all
coordinated effort there. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go back to something we were just talking about. This you mentioned the skiing, and I was just doing a little research. How are because we had talked about this before, touring skis. How are these different from cross country skis and, of course, downhill skis? What's the big difference there?
Touring skis actually is really similar to backcountry skis.
Okay.
Actually, I Google it. Actually, that's almost a European term for backcountry skis. So we have downhill, that's alpine style on a piste. Backcountry skis, it's something that you do on off piste. So which means that you don't go you ski on unmarked or unpatrolled area. You don't use ski. Actually, you're doing outdoor, out of the ski resorts. You don't use ski
trails
or any kind of transports. Yeah, you just walk. But in a term of equipment, it requires lightweighted boots, which is connected to the ski only at the toe. So they call it free heel. That free heel allows skier, yes, that he can go uphill on flat terrain and also downhill. You just switch the mode from the uphill or downhill. So you can move your heel, you can walk, just to walk on a flat terrain, and you climb up the hill. And also there is there are actually the skins that you put on your skis that you couldn't slide down. And when you get, and you, with all of those equipment, with the rucksack and everything, you go up to the mountain, to the top, you just switch it to the different mode and then ski down from the top. So,
I've learned something here. I had no idea that they made skis like that. Of course, I'm not a skier, and I did try it one time downhill, and I swore I'd never do it again. But I would tell you, that's an interesting sounding ski that you can climb up. Of course, your heel is free. And that you won't slide back down when you're climbing. That is so interesting. I love that.
Yeah, and you're also always doing it on ungroomed terrain. Actually, the ski touring was involved by those who seeking a new adventure, a new snow, alpinists who wanted to raise their adrenaline to the high level.
Well, listen, before we take a break, I'm going to ask you real quickly here because there's a lot of stuff I want to cover with you. Tell us about the climbing and mountaineering community there in Bosnia. What's it like?
Mm-hmm. Climbing, like rock climbing, you mean, or generally mountaineering?
Basically, yeah, just the community in general. I mean, is it a big community? Is there a lot of people that do this? Is it
actually Bosnia and Herzegovina is a really small country. There are 3.5 million of people here, but we have really nice community of mountaineers and rock climbing. If we say about rock climbing, there are maybe a few hundreds of the climbers, but we all stick together, we talk, we exchange the information, we try to make a new climbing area, and etc. But and also, as I said, in the mountaineering community, there are also a really group. Those are actually the different types of people. I have my crew for ski touring. I have my crew for rock climbing, for mountaineering, for those the things when we go to the expeditions. But it is small community, but it's really healthy and positive.
It sounds like the camping and paddling community here in the United States, and those are really nice people, and it's great. At least I believe it's just great to be a part of a community and it's a small community here too, but people are really genuine and they're nice. And it sounds like that's the way it is over there as well, right?
Yeah, I think that people, when they go to the mountain, because of that hormone serotonin, I think they become happy when they achieve the top. That's actually a combination of mental and physical achievement, because you have to push your efforts to climb to the mountain, but the sense of achievement that you managed to do something, I think the combination of that. I have actually one sentence I can quote you that's really familiar here in Europe, because it's written by the Slovenian mountaineer who died on Manaslu, and he said, I will quote it. Yeah. He who seeks a goal will remain empty when he reaches it, and he who will find a way will always carry that goal with himself. So it means if you are looking or seeking for the goal, you won't be happy when you reach it. But if you enjoy the whole way on your
the journey, as we say.
Whole journey, yes, that was written by Nate Zaplotnik, that Slovenian mountaineer who died on Manaslu. But we use that sentence.
Oh, what a great saying, right? That's an awesome saying. Yeah. All right, well, listen, when we come back, we're going to talk to you. We're going to ask you about the process thereof and how you manage during the trip, and we'll talk about that when we come back. So, yep. Well, we'll be back with more of Outdoors People right after these messages.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sights, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born. Built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
And we're back here with Aida Starčević on Outdoors People. Aida, when you're climbing mountains, where do you sleep? And I'm sure, I know it's in a tent, at least I'm sure it is. But how do you prepare meals? I mean, it's super windy when you're climbing a mountain, I'm sure. How does that work? And it's not quite flat when you're pitching a tent, I'm sure. Or is it?
Well, sometimes, actually, we sleep in a tent. Sometimes we sleep in a mountain huts. Depends on what kind of trek we do. If it's ski touring, sometimes we sleep in a tent or in a mountain hut, or if we go to that expeditional way, that's always in a tent. But I also had some twice. I had that opportunity to sleep on a rock during our ascent to the top, because we couldn't manage to finish it in a whole day. We just stick to the anchor and to that boat, and we slept on the rock. Actually, we didn't sleep; we were just hanging there. But at least we survived. Right. But during the climbing the mountains, when we sleep in a tent, actually, as I said, we have to bring all of the equipment with us on our backs. So when we, for example, go ski touring, we go up to the mountain to that mountain. To top, and then slide it down, and then go to, for example, mountain hut, and then we cook. If we don't have water, we cook the snow. We do it on Aconcagua also. Actually, during the on Pren, Čvrstnica, those are the waste expensive of the big mountains here in Bosnia. It is they are not so high, around 2,000 meters, but they can let you to feel that mountain spirit. And we cook, as I said, we cook the things that we have. Don't eat much because you have to continue your adventure tomorrow. That's it mostly. Yeah.
You know, real quick before I got another question I want to ask you about this, but the discussion has been raised that somehow melted snow has a taste to it other than just what regular water would have. Any truth to that?
It is different than the regular water. It is like when you drink water, you can feel that there are some minerals in it, and I don't know the combination that's in the regular water. But when you drink snow, it's something just without flavor. It's something that it is actually different. You can feel it, but I put some vitamins in it, so we can change the color, maybe become sweet with sugar, and that's
interesting.
Yeah.
So what's been your longest trek? I mean, how many days to the top of a mountain? And then what was that altitude?
Actually, that was the reason I got the prize. Yeah, and that mountaineering association gave me that. That was Aconcagua, of course.
Oh, it was that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Aconcagua. It was the trek in one way. It is around 50 kilometers. It's around 30 miles. So one way to the top, and from the top to the base again, it's another 30 miles. So it's around 60 miles.
Wow.
In 20 days.
Wow. In 20 days you did that.
Yeah. But there is that's an expeditional style, because I mentioned that there are different styles of climbing. So it means that we start from the base. We need to go higher. We get to the we have 2 acclimatization camps, so we need to acclimate ourselves. It means that we have to adjust our body to the lack of oxygen. As we get higher, the air is thinner, and it's much harder to breathe. All of the things that we do, it's much more challenging and complicating than when we do it at the base.
Yeah.
So we sleep in a 2 acclimatization. We slept, if I'm talking about Aconcagua, we slept in the 2 acclimatization camp. Then we got to the base camp. That's the beginning, the starting point of every expedition. And there we have organized food, water, and everything. We spend there I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days. And then we go to the first and second high altitude camps. That's maybe most dangerous part of the expedition. We slept one night at camp 1, then in camp 2, and then we go to that ascent to the summit and get down. So that's the actual way of how we do those high mountains.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break again, and when we come back, Aida, we are going to look at some photos that you sent us and some video. We're going to look at some video as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Okay.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sights, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born. Built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
And we're back with our guest, Aida Starčević, here on Outdoors People. All right, let's, we've got some videos lined up or queued up, as it were. Let's take a look at those first, and then we'll take a look at some photos. Those are some cool skis, I have to say. That's great. Okay, now we got some photos, and you can tell us what we're looking at here for each of these photos, Aida.
Okay, I just want. Okay, yeah, that's the climbing area in Drežnica. That's Herzegovina, one of the popular routes. That's the rock climbing, of course. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the climbing area here in Bugojno. That's my local area. And that was shooting video T-shirt.
I recognize that shirt. Yeah, I was like, hey.
Yeah. Those were the pictures for you.
Oh, that's amazing. I appreciate that. Yeah.
That's also Drežnica. You can see that the combination of those that beautiful nature. There's the river Neretva passing by. And that's the area for climbing, and which is really connected to the civilization, but still it's in the nature. It is not. It could be sometimes crowded, but it's not.
You're a tiny little speck on there, and I could see you. But this killed me. What is this we're looking at? I love this, by the way.
Yeah, that's the way when you know all of the techniques when you climb the rock. That's the easiest to move. That's not something that it's scary. When my mom saw it, she was screaming for 10 days, but I couldn't.
I love it.
Describe it. That it is not actually scary at all, but she couldn't believe me, of course.
Of course. Well, she's your mother. She's gonna, naturally go, wait, what are you doing? Yeah, I love it though. That's a great photo, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
This is cool.
That's the ice climbing. That year here in Bosnia, it was around minus 30 degrees. I'm not sure how many Fahrenheit, but I think something maybe, I don't know how, I don't want to guess. And everything was frozen. So we every water that we can find in the nature was frozen, so we could do the ice climbing. But we done it that year, and that's it. We haven't done it since then. We need to go somewhere else.
Well, Aida, I can tell you, at negative 29 Celsius is negative 20 Fahrenheit. So that's damn cold. Yeah.
That's cool. But that was only 1 year. I'm not sure, maybe 7 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
the top. That's the top of Aconcagua. I didn't mention that the top of Aconcagua is 6,962 meters, or 22,850 feet. Yes, I converted.
Hey, I think that makes you the queen of mountaineering. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there are so many mountains in the world. I could do or climb, but okay, who knows?
Well, we're going to give you that title on this show. How's that?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's one small climbing area. We were bolting it. That means that we put those bolts in it that we can climb. Yeah. It's in Preo, that's Glam, which also Bosnia. I mean, Bosnia and Herzegovina is one country, but geographically it's divided on Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Herzegovina is much more warmer, but Bosnia is... it's not so warm. If you want to ski, you go to Bosnia. If you want to climb, you go to Herzegovina.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Nice.
And that's the Ada Mondra. That's the best climber in the world. And that's my little boy. Yeah. And
that's your son right there?
That's my son. Yes. When he was a little, now he's a big boy. And we wanted to see Ada Mondra. As I said, he's the best climber, and that's the moment we met him. He was really nice person, and he, as we mentioned, those climbing areas in Bosnia. He visited Canyon Tiesno. That's National Geographic also made a picture of it. So it means that there are two cliffs, and they put the high line on it, and the people climb there, and you can see the river and the main road there, and it's really magnificent view. And Ada Mondra came there, and he bolted the first 9A plus route, and he of course climbed it the day after that. And I don't think that anyone had it again.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a Czech climber from Czechoslovakia. Yeah.
Now this is scary. What did your mother say about a picture like this?
I'm not there. I don't do that. That's the National Geographic picture I was telling you about. That's the main road and the river Vrbas, and there are two cliffs, and they combine. I think that's the longest. I couldn't say that's the longest in the whole world, that high line, but it is really one of the longest in the world. I'm not sure, maybe 500 meters or something like that. And that's the famous picture that National Geographic do for their, I don't know, one magazine. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, because to me that looks scary. What is the scariest thing that you've experienced while on a mountaineering adventure?
There were many, many things which were, I could say, funny, but not so scary. I wouldn't say that it's so scary, but I have a little story. When I was climbing with my partner here in our local area, climbing area, it is really close to the town. It's only I think 5 miles from the town, and from the first village, which is really populated, 2.5 miles. We were climbing there. When we climb, we are tied with a rope, and I was belaying him. As we were alone, we were really quiet. At one moment, my partner told me, "Put me down, there's a bear down there." I thought I couldn't understand him correctly, or he repeated once again. I lowered him down, and I didn't know what's happening. We turned around, and on the path, we saw 2 small bear cubs on our path. But we were climbing in there are some different sectors on that area. We were climbing in a cave. So on the path in front of us, there were 2 bear cubs, and beside us, there was a big rock, so we couldn't move anywhere. But we weren't, of course, afraid of those little bears. But we know that the mother is somewhere.
Mother is nearby, you bet.
Yes, and that was the most danger that we were afraid of.
Yeah.
And at one moment, I was standing there, and I was thinking, oh my God, is this the end? Am I going to die like this? We know we have to do something. So we took some stones, and we were throwing, but not hitting. We were just throwing it nicely and politely to that bed. But those cubs were just hopping and coming towards us. They were looking around. There was such an incident.
They probably thought you wanted to just play catch with them with those rocks or something.
They wanted to play with us.
Right.
And we were throwing those stones, and they just moved a bit from that pad. We ran from that cave to the car breathlessly. We done it, I think, in a few seconds. We didn't see the mother.
You never did.
And we have actually a record that a couple of times bear come to that climbing area, but we have never have any
Real
reported case that animal attacked people. They just move.
Good.
They are really hospitable. So if people want to come to Bosnia, to our climbing area, they should know that we have really hospitable wild animals.
You have nice, polite bears there. I like that.
Yes,
I like that. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was the scariest moment in my climbing career.
Well, that's not too bad. As long as it turned out well, that's all good, right?
Yeah.
Well, Aida, where can people go to follow you on social media?
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said, I want to actually first promote my beautiful country, because we are a small country. We have a lot of untouched nature. We have a lot of mountain hikes and climbing, and just to see those maybe towns. But if people follow me on social media, they can see some interesting stories from the mountains. They can see some different techniques of doing some climb in the mountains, but maybe learn some tips from those, I don't know, trips, or at least can see the beauty of my country.
Yeah, it is a beautiful country for a fact.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
course.
Aida, I'll tell you what, and I have to thank you publicly here. Thanks for being patient with me. I think started talking about a year ago about having you on the show. And you were very patient with me and us, and I want to thank you for your patience. And we finally got you on the show, and I'm so glad we did, because
I'm really glad that I could manage to be a part of your show. Yes. And I'm actually, as I said at the beginning, I'm really pleased that you realize that I could be a good guest at your show. As I said, I want to show my country, because we are really small, and I want to show my lifestyle, my the way I spend my time and live.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Yeah, you have a beautiful country, and you are a wonderful lady. And I have to tell you what, you bring with you, as we saw in the promos today, you bring with you a huge fan club. So it's very impressive. Very impressive. Would appreciate that. Well, Aida, listen, thank you for being our guest on the Outdoors People Show. It was a pleasure having you here with us this evening.
Thank you too. And I would just tell people, come to Bosnia, visit us. You won't regret it. Whoever come to Bosnia, he return it again.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would certainly agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, we'd also like to thank each of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's show: Rutabaga Paddle Sports, Campground Views, Duluth Pack, and Jackson Kayak. Be sure to tune in for next week's episode, California skateboarder and world traveler Valerie LaForge, with our guest, Valerie LaForge. This is CW Getz saying, have a great evening, and thanks for tuning in to Outdoors People. See you next week.